Good morning, Team Coefficient. Happy Friday. Just a quick video to walk you through the 26.2 workout movement standards and common faults. The 26.2 workout is basically 3 sets of dumbbell overhead walking lunges, dumbbell snatches, and then a gymnastics movement, which is anything from a jumping pull-up all the way up to ring muscle up, depending on your age group and your scale. So we're going to talk about, I'll talk about the movements in order. The other noteworthy item is on the score sheet, there is a tie break time listed right here for each round. Every time the athlete finishes the dumbbell snatches, you need to take a look up at the clock and write the time down when they finished. That'll be important because people will get stuck on the gymnastics movements, and that tie break time will be what separates them. So, on the lunges, first movement is the lunges. The 20-foot segment has to be done as it's 1 rep. So if there's any faults along the way, any no reps, the athlete has to start that lunge segment over again. So in other words, starting behind the line, feet cannot touch the line when you start. The dumbbell has to start overhead. The dumbbell cannot be touching any part of the body. So realizing that not everybody has a great locked out overhead position. This is okay, this is okay, this is not okay. This is okay, this is not okay. Also, it kind of hurts. The other thing is when you hold the dumbbell, you notice I'm gripping the dumbbell by the handle. You cannot hold the dumbbell by the end. That's not okay. So you have to be gripping the dumbbell. Now, if you notice, I tend to let it hang, but I'm still gripping the handle. That's a good rep. Starting behind the line. Each lunge has the knee contacting the floor. The knee has to touch. Non-touch is a no rep. You have to pass through this position. Hips and knees locked out. You do not have to stop like I'm stopping, but you have to pass through that position. Meaning you can sweep the foot through and keep going. If, however, you do not lock out, that is a no rep, and I would have to go back and start the entire lunge segment over again, the 20-foot segment. You could be on your very last rep and do that, and you have to go back to the beginning, of the 20-foot segment to start over again. The finish of the lunge. The leading foot has to be completely over the line, not touching the line. If you're touching the line, that means this is not finished. I'm going to have to do another lunge step to finish. And the last common fault that you'll see is when people come across that finish line, before they stand up and completely lock out, they'll bring the dumbbell down, so like this. That's a no rep. That means they're going to have to go all the way back to the beginning and start over again. Okay, that's the lunges. On the snatches, the standard for movement for the snatches, both heads of the dumbbell start on the ground or must touch the ground each rep. The non-working hand cannot contact the body. We're starting with a single movement overhead, locked out. You can catch it and stand it up. You cannot bring it up here and push press it. It has to be one movement, ground overhead. You also have to alternate this every rep. So right, left, right, left, right, left, or left, right, doesn't matter, but you do have to alternate every rep. So, 1, no rep, right? If I use the same arm. 1, then you can switch. You can switch in the air or on the ground. Either one is okay, but you have to switch. The snatches also have to be 5 feet away from the pull-up rig So it kind of means you're gonna have to step over that line that we have there to do the snatches, and then when you start the lunges, you'll have to be back over the line. Okay, so that's the dumbbell snatches. The pull-up standard, I mean, we all know the pull-up standard, but I see a lot of in-betweens on these. So the first thing is, for the jumping pull-ups, the athlete's bar, their pull-up bar, if you're gonna do jumping pull-ups, has to be at least 6 inches above your head when you're standing on whatever you're gonna use. So there has to be a minimum of 6 inches. It can be more than that, but it has to be a minimum of 6 inches. Then, whether it's jumping or regular pull-ups, the standard for the pull-up is the same. If it's jumping, the arms have to be extended at the bottom, and the chin has to be over the bar, clearly over the bar at the top. This is where you're gonna see a lot of faults. Here to here. That's the pull-ups and the jumping pull-ups. The only difference for the chest to bar is the chest clearly has to make contact with the bar. So, there, that's a rep. Close is not a rep, okay? Close is not a rep. So that chest has to make clear contact with the bar. Let's see, I think that's it really. I think I talked about the tie break, the full grip. Yeah, all right. Everybody, good luck, have fun, and we'll see you at Friday Night Lights.